Okay. Um, Switching gears, we need to talk about Superman.
Oh yeah. Did you guys hear? Superman has come out as bisexual, and a lot of people are freaking out about it.
Yeah, because
So,
people only know how to read headlines and they don't actually, look at anything else.
so for context, uh,
Super, yeah.
Superman, the Superman in the comics, Jon Kent, which is the son of Clark Kent, aka Kal-El, he's going to be coming out as bisexual. Has the issue come out yet?
No,
So
they only announced that it's going to be happening within his series, which right now is actually really popular.
yeah, because a lot of the a lot of the discourse has circulated around, oh, they're only doing it because coming out day is coming up, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Is it pandering? Yes. But my retort to that is also, so what if it's pandering? Bisexual people still need exposure. And yeah, I mean, is it pandering? Yeah, but at the same time, who's it hurting? Is
yeah.
anyone really hurt by Superman being a bisexual character?
So here's the thing: is like people who have these criticisms are like, oh, instead of putting effort into making it woke, they should focus on the writing. They should focus on the story when it literally takes like 2 seconds of effort to change a character's sexuality in a story.
Yeah, and it also feels like when people,
So it's such a awful criticism that doesn't have any standing whatsoever. And
yeah, normally the people that usually levy those criticisms, they're like to say, well, like a character needs to, like they kind of argue that a character needs to earn their like gayness or their minority status when that's never applied to white or straight characters.
right,
Like no one questions why Bruce Wayne is straight. He just is. That's fine. So in the same deal, John Kent comes out as bisexual. We shouldn't really question that. He's not even the first bisexual like character in DC. We have Harley Quinn. We have Tim Drake. I mean, and he's not even the first LGBT character either, because what we have Aqualad, we have Alan Scott Green Lantern, we have Apollo and Midnighter. Like, we have LGBT representation in comics. And while, yeah, people were like, oh my god, politics in our comics, no one talks about them anymore. No one talks about their queerness anymore because guess what? It doesn't really matter. It's just a nice thing for people who are in those groups because it's someone they can identify with. It doesn't change anything fundamental about their characters because, surprise, surprise, being X sexuality doesn't define anyone.
yeah. And the funniest part is that this got a Fox News segment.
Oh god.
This is this has sparked so much discourse that it has a Fox News segment.
It's only a matter of time before Tucker Carlson starts just screaming about how the left and the woke are ruining our children. They're trying to turn us gay, and then he'll somehow turn this into some white genocide.
Like they care so much about this, and it ultimately amounts to what?
Yeah. Yeah, Superboy, not Superboy. He's no longer Superboy. He's Superman now. But what? Superman is gonna have a relationship with his roommate Jay. Okay. How long before Jay doesn't show up in another issue, or worse, before he just gets fringed?
Yeah,
I mean, remember, it was only recent that Dan Didio was the editor, like the head editor in charge in Marvel, not Marvel, at DC, and he straight up said, oh yeah, superheroes can't have happiness, which is why Batman and Catwoman didn't get married despite one full year of character buildup, and they didn't go through it, or why Batwoman couldn't marry her lover, which, by the way, Batwoman is lesbian, so yeah.
yeah. It's all surface level, especially when they're like, oh, we can't like bring up like sexuality in media, despite the fact that we have heterosexual relationships everywhere in media, not just in superhero comics in general.
Yeah, and like the other thing is they keep mentioning like, oh, why are they sexualizing our kids? Like, why are they sexualizing products for kids? Well, for one, yeah, comic books are technically for kids, but one, children are gay, children are bi, children are pan, children are transgender, children are not somehow mythically immune to this, like, to, what is it? They're social. They're like social factors. They're not actual biological things. Like when it comes to sexuality and gender, like those things are not like things that are just suddenly inherent to you. They're social constructs.
Right.
So, what? Superman being bi? How is that sexualizing kids?
Or
Most kids are
not sexualizing, but
sexualizing comic book characters for kids because what? At the end of the day, you're still gonna see Superman beat up Mongol, beat up Doomsday, beat up Lex Luthor, and just because he has a boyfriend isn't gonna change the fact that he's still gonna be beating up the bad guys and saving the day.
overall, and it's this weird need for parents to control, like, what they learn. It's
It's not even that. In my opinion, they don't really care about kids because let's be honest here, conservatives don't care about kids. Conservatives, I'll say it. Conservatives are very, very predatory about children in general. So this isn't about the kids. This is just another culture war issue that they want to put forth to divert attention from the real issues that they're at fault for, like the mishandling of COVID, the mishandling of vaccine information, the January 6th insurrection, just the frequent and constant posturing of race war that the right pushes with the white genocide conspiracy theory, or the BLM are a bunch of like Marxist rioters that are coming to destroy the country or whatever. It's just another stupid culture war wedge issue, like critical race theory. Like when critical race theory first happened and was in the news, like everyone's like, "Oh my god, critical race theory." Critical race theory has been an academic theory for decades. I learned it when I was in college, and it's not any of the stuff that conservatives were complaining about. But the other aspect of that is who talks about critical race theory now?
because the topic was only popular for like a few months.
Like a month and a half to 2 months maximum. And now no one talks about critical race theory. No one's worried about it. Just like how no one's going to be worried about a bisexual Superman in what, like a month? Like I guarantee you, come December, we're not going to be talking about Jon Kent being bisexual because it's a manufactured outrage.
And then we're going to have to go through the yearly cycle. The only outrage that repeats every year, which is the war on Christmas.
Yeah. Oh god, that's gonna come up again, and
You brought up December.
I know, but listen, the moral of the story here is this: Superman being bisexual is fine.
It doesn't
It's
hurt anybody.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of people learning about their own sexuality will appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, and also for a lot of people getting their own panties in the twist, it's not even Clark Kent. It's Jon Kent, his son that has only been in existence in the comics since 2015. He's a fairly new character, meaning they can explore these aspects of his characters and not be a betrayal. Like, it's not Clark Kent. Clark Kent is canonically a cisgendered Kryptonian that is straight. I don't think that's ever going to change. This is just his son, who is a half Kryptonian, half human, that's cisgender and bi. Which, once again, come December, no one will talk about. Like, the issue hasn't even come out. I guarantee you, once the issue actually drops, the discourse is dead. By the time the issue actually drops. Because let's be honest here, these people don't read comic books. Because if they did read comic books, they would know about all the different forms of LGBT representation, not just in DC, but in Marvel, in Image Comics, or in other independent comics like Invincible, The Walking Dead, the My Little Pony comics, like all these different things. Like, it's irrelevant. It's a wedge culture war issue that conservatives are pushing to distract the American people from real issues that they're normally at fault for. And, well, as a segue to